107 points were the most LSU's ever scored in an SEC game. Scored 100 last year, so 107. And then this was the fourth game in LSU women's basketball history where both teams have scored over 100 points. So we'll open it up for questions with the players first, and then we'll finish with Coach Mulkey.
Michaela, Coach Dini mentioned that tonight was a special night for you. At one point during the game did you realize it was nothing possibly that Oklahoma could do to stop you?
As soon as the first one fell, I know when I hit a shot early that it's going to be a real good game for me. So just like I said earlier, just very thankful for my teammates to keep on feeding the hot hand and keep finding me at the end of the game.
Thank you.
Michaela, how would you describe how wild this game was, from the ejections, the technicals, the score of the game, the comeback they almost made, all those different things?
Right. Obviously, it was wild, but I think the biggest thing for LSU women's basketball team this year was to weather the storm, and I feel like we weathered the storm well, especially late in the game with the turnovers when the press happened. But at the end of the day, we stayed disciplined enough to pull it out at the end of the game.
Leah, it was great to see you out there. How did it feel to get out on the court, especially in this big game, and you came up in really big ways? The crowd was engaged, chanting for you. How did that feel today?
It felt good to be there, out there, and helping my team. That's something they have been pushing me to do in practice every day. I'm glad that I was able to help my team today.
Yeah, just for both of y'all. I mean, what was Coach's message when Oklahoma kind of took it down to, I believe, 6 in the fourth? And y'all had to call timeout. What was Coach's message to y'all?
Stop turning the ball over. Yeah, that was the only thing. Really just stop turning the ball over and execute our offense and get down the floor so we can set up our offense and play the game.
Michaela, walk us through that last shot. What did you see? What did the defense look like? And how did you step in and make it?
I knew in our pick and roll, we wanted Reagan Beers to be in it, so I knew when Lily was guarding her, I sent her to come up, and I knew she was going to be sagging off, so I was just prepared to shoot the ball. And I was having a good game tonight, so I knew I was very confident in it falling.
For Leah, your block on the final play, it looked like a lot of your plays tonight where your hands were straight up and they came into you, and where you're holding your breath like, don't call a foul on this, it's all ball.
I mean, I can't control what the refs call, so I was just playing hard because my team needed me, so I just did what I needed to do. Yeah.
Michaela, you mentioned part of the DNA of this team is to weather the storm. What have you guys identified, I guess, for the first 22 games that allows you guys to sort of weather that storm while the other team's going on that run, that you guys are still calm and collected and you don't let the situation sort of take over? Right.
I think early in the season, we've had to fight adversity. So when that storm does come, it's not a freak out or anything. It's like a coming together type of thing. Like when the times gets tough, we come together, we stay together, and then we end up executing at the end of the game.
I mean, Michaela, obviously you had a historical game. What is it like to also see Flau'jae and Anissa have those kind of numbers, knowing what the big three is at LSU and what that could mean for y'all down the road?
Right. Obviously, they're phenomenal athletes, phenomenal people, and just knowing that the big three, you know what I'm saying? So just knowing that they're still feeding me and still getting theirs is just a testament of how well we play together and how unselfish we are as a team.
Michaela, you guys were kind of maybe in a scoring slump in the last two games, but that was complete opposite tonight. I guess what went on from, Sunday to now to where you guys were able to find that rhythm?
Reps, just like I always say, reps don't lie. Like the game rewards hard work, and we just continued to work hard and knew eventually it was going to have to fall because of how much work we put in. So reps and not losing confidence.
Aaliyah, if I could ask you a big picture question real quick. What has this season been like for you? How would you describe it? And what does tonight's game, mean to you in that picture?
I feel like this season has been good. We have gone through a lot of adversity, like Michaela said, but we came out of it. I'm glad that every time my name is called, I'm ready to step up and be there for my team.
Up 24, y'all guys had some unnecessary turnovers. Refs made some kind of calls y'all didn't agree with. Oklahoma got back into the game down one. Do y'all feel like y'all made the game harder than what it was?
Absolutely. Like Coach Mulkey said, turnovers and what she's been saying, we can't defend the free throw line. So turning the ball over on top of sending them to the free throw line is not a good mix. But luckily, there wasn't enough time on the clock for them to be able to continue to get us in foul trouble and for us to continue to turn the ball over. So, yeah.
Got time for a couple more with the players.
It's for Michaela. You seem to bring out your best when it's the most intense, the most tight. What is it about the clutch situations that you just love?
I just love basketball. You know what I mean? I play basketball because I like competing, and I just know when my number's called, I'm always be ready. I'm always be ready for the moment. So, applaud to Coach Mulkey and my teammates for wanting the balls to be in my hands.
All right, thank you, girls.
Thank you.
Good job, guys. Did y'all see her slippers? Come here, Flage. Michaela, look at that. Looks pretty good, doesn't it?
We'll get this one out the way real quick. What was the reason for the ejection early? Were you told?
Well, I know if you don't ask this next one, Reed will. Where was Poa? Where was Poa? They can't wait to get those clickbaits going. Poa, let's start with that so you don't have to ask me. She's being disciplined for the breaking of a team rule. Okay? Pushing, I guess, is considered fighting. So she told me that Samaya was ejected for fighting, as was Scott for them. And so I think it's my understanding they now have to sit the next game. That was pretty early in the game, wasn't it? Yeah.
Y'all were down early to Oklahoma, but really after that ejection, it seemed like the team lit up for Samaya. What do you say to how the team came out hot? I mean, obviously it was a very high-scoring game. What do you say to that in defense of their teammate?
We didn't discuss it. Next man up. And you knew what you had. You had Jersey, you had Aaliyah, and then if you went small, you could use Michaela, and we used all of them. And then didn't Jersey foul out there at the end? And do I go small? Do I go big? If I go small, we can switch everything, and we went with Lee. So didn't discuss it. We're in the heat of the moment.
Yeah, Coach, what was it like trying to weather that storm of the comeback that they had, and then eventually getting Michaela the ball enough to
We were cool as a cucumber. We didn't, no big deal. Of course, we're sitting over there like, how did we lose a 24-point lead? You didn't handle the 1-2-2 press. So I went from Cheyenne to KG to Michaela. That's where we were. We just, was it 6 or 7, I don't know, points there in a row, and that's what happened at South Carolina. You turn the ball over, bam, bam, and good teams are going to capitalize on that. And that's how it became a game, is turnovers.
Kim, we've only seen Samaya as kind of shy and reserved. How things have to escalate for her to react that way?
I haven't spoken to her. I'm.
Does she ever react like that in practice or anything?
No. It was shocking. But.
Can that be a positive, though, for her to get some fire like that?
Well, I'm not ever going to say pushing somebody's a positive, Mike. I don't like all that. It hurt our team with her not being a part of tonight, because we're trying to develop her. We're trying to get her to that point where you can guard a Reagan Beers and those big physical post players. So you just can't do that. You can't do that. And I always was told from my old mentor, Leon Barmore, you got to keep a cool head in a hot game. Never let them see you sweat. So.
If I could ask a couple, in the third quarter, Aaliyah got called for flopping.
Yes, we saw a lot of things tonight. Think about what we saw. You saw ejections. You saw 2 teams score over 100. You saw a technical on the second flop. And I said, well, where in the heck was the first flop? I don't remember them ever coming to my bench and telling me. They said it was when Flage was shooting a free throw. I got teed up, and she told me I got teed up for pointing at the big screen. I was definitely looking at the big screen, and I was not real happy, but I don't know if I pointed. But she's across the way, so it just, whatever.
You've coached in so many games. Is this one of the wildest ones you've?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, losing a 24-point lead.
Yeah, Coach, can you talk about Cheyenne Day Wilson? 9 points, 9 assists.
She hit a big three right there when it was cut and tight, and we need her to do more of that.
What do you like about her poise?
Her poise, I'm not going to say she's poised right now because she was the one with the ball in her hands, but she's our point guard. And poise is being able to make sure we don't lose that lead. Poise is being able to make sure you throw that ball instead of getting caught, trapped and turned it over. She's our point guard. I'm in her corner, and I'm pulling for her, but I don't know if I would use poise because critical turnovers, when your point guard has them, you're our leader out there. You're our quarterback out there. You just can't do it. So you just keep coaching her, and you keep making sure that she understands the value of a possession. I handed out something to all of them in the film room a week ago. And the title of it is, It's Only One Possession. And I went through how only one possession can get you beat. And when the game's over, you sit at your locker wondering, what more could I have done? And there's all kinds of things through the course of the game that each of them can do. Can block out, can get that defensive rebound, can take care of that ball, can make that free throw. There's so many parts of the game that you look back at and go, it's only one possession.
Coach, 2 questions. One, Michaela Williams, when the lights are the brightest, she always seems to play her best. What do you see from her?
Let me tell you how I feel about Michaela Williams. She'll play any position I need her to play and has been doing that for a month or so. Michaela, can you go play the 4 and get in there with Morrow and let's go small here? No problem, Coach. Michaela, can you go play the point guard? No problem, Coach. Michaela, can you go to the wing? Put her wherever I need her. That tells you about Michaela Williams and what I think of her. She's willing to do whatever we need. And I love that kid because she just wants to do right. She wants to win. And she wants to get better every day. She wants to get better.
What do you think? Why did your team struggle with a full court press? Do you think it was more of just a lapse?
I'm going to always start with me and coaching first. They have not played a 1-2-2 all year. Okay, so, or according to Coach Bob Starkey, but it doesn't matter if we went over it or not. We have gone over. They know how to attack it. We just didn't do right. We weren't in the right positions. We weren't throwing over the top. We weren't using Morrow in the middle. We were trying to dribble through it. Just lost our composure a little bit right there. So it's not like they haven't been taught. Could we have probably done it more in depth in a scouting report? Or yeah, I guess we can. We can create a lot of things in a scouting report, but you usually go by what you see on film. Yeah. You just beat a team. Now you think about this. We hit more threes in Oklahoma. So for all of y'all that write oh, they can't shoot it outside. Yeah, we can shoot it outside. Shooting is just mental. Just keep shooting it. So I'm sitting here going, we just scored more threes than Oklahoma, and I know a thing or two about Oklahoma from being in the Big 12. Both teams just shot how many free throws? 30 apiece or more. And I don't know. That's kind of crazy. When I go back and look at the film, it's like, I guess it was entertaining for the fans, but wow.
Got time for a couple more. Reed and then Ron.
What allows Michaela to be so composed in the moments when the game is tight like that?
Michaela's a winner. She won a state championship in high school. She's had trainers and her mom and dad and everybody. She's grown up in the gym. She's just been around a a basketball and softball. Have y'all ever seen her hit a softball or throw a softball? I think that's the first scholarship she ever had in 7th grade. She's just strong, and that rim was big as an ocean tonight for her. I just think she's a baller. She's a baller.
You played that team for decades in the Big 12. Is this what you kind of, their MO, what you expected, the physicality of them, the big girls knocking you around? This is basically Oklahoma basketball that you've seen for decades?
Well, the 3-ball. Now, you got to remember, Jenny just got there. It's the first time I've ever coached against her, and I really like that lady. I really like that lady. I think she does really, really good stuff for her personnel. But through the years, they've always had big, strong post players, and they've always shot the 3 darn good. And Jenny is, I'm pretty sure about this, Jenny might have played at Iowa. So she knows that kind of system. And they're good. You know, they won the Big 12 last year. And so when I hugged her neck before the game, she and I both smiled. I said, "This league's different, isn't it?" She goes, "Woo!" And then she said, "And your guards." You know, she was very complimentary.
All right, thank you guys.
Y'all good? All right.